All right. So, where do I start with this? I'm making a video I never thought I would actually make. Um, I'm a little freaked out right now. I'm 37 years old, and for that 37 years, I have known one thing about my biological father. I've known his name, and um, and that's it. I've known his name. I saw a picture of him laying in a hospital bed. He was hurt. I was told he had a broken back before I was born. When him and my biological mother were very young. Um, at 15 years old, I was adopted, and fortunately had an amazing family to you know um, you know give me what I didn't have up to that point. Um, my for a good part of my life, I was angry at him, and over the years, that anger just turned to curiosity. Really, you know, curiosity about from everything to everything from why didn't you ever even reach out and just say, hey, I can't be around much, but this is who I am, to wondering, you know, about my grandparents on his side, about any brothers or sisters I might have, aunts and uncles, cousins, mostly grandparents and siblings, And now at 37 years old, I've been on Ancestry DNA for at least a year now, and I stopped checking it a long time ago. And I got a couple emails saying, "Hey, check your updated ethnicity," which, like, I already looked at. It's thanks. And I sign in. I figure, let me take a look and see what's really changed, if there's anything new or interesting. And on the home page, where it shows your ethnic breakdown and suggested matches, right there, front and center, is I'm not going to say his name, just because I don't want to put him on blast right here before I've even had a chance to talk to him or reach out to him or even hear his side of the story. I don't think it's fair to do that to him or whatever family he has that might some unlikely coincidence by the infinitesimally small number of people that I'll reach with this video, but might see that. And so I'm not going to out him, but he was right there. The two matches on the sign-in page, he's right there. And the one thing I know about him is his name, and there it is. And it says parent-child, and when you click on, when you select that match, it says confidence extremely high, parent-child. It can't be a coincidence. It can't be a mistake. I have written an email, because you can email your DNA matches on Ancestry.com. I've written an email just saying, the subject line, I guess I'm trying to poke fun at it a little bit. It said, "I'll try not to make this too awkward. Hi, I'm Travis. When I first signed up for Ancestry, I wanted to know where I came from. Part of me hoped that I would end up being connected with your side of the family, but after 37 years, I guess I'd reconciled myself to half of my life remaining a mystery," which, at this point in my life, I just assumed that this was something that I was never going to know. I was never going to know him. I was never going to know his side of the family. I certainly never thought I was going to just find him in this way. And I'm surprised and a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried because what if he rejects me again? What if he says nothing? What if he says nothing? Even worse than him reaching back and saying, "Hey man, you know what? Go fuck yourself," would be him saying nothing. To not respond at all would be worse to me. But I said my biological mother was Shirley Smith and my birth name was Dwayne Thomas Smith. I've always wondered about you, my grandparents on your side of the family, any siblings I may have. I would really like it if we could get in touch. There's a lot I'd really like to know, and if you're open to it, it would be nice to know you on some level. I don't want to push for too much, but it would mean a lot to me if we could not remain strangers to each other. So I'm gonna send him this, and wish me luck, guys. I guess I will document this, with videos. I'll keep you guys up to date on what happens, and I guess what an awesome time to live in, where you can sign up for a DNA test and someone, and you can find someone like this. So it's pretty awesome too. I only live a couple hours away from where he lives. I was told he was from Sacramento when I was a kid, but with my grandparents and aunts, you never know how much of that's accurate, how much they remember correctly from, at the time they told me this, at least teens of years ago, if not, 20, 30 years, by the time I was a grown man. I'm worried because my uncle and my grandfather told me that they ran into him at a car show in Sacramento about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I was like 12, 11, maybe 10. I think I was a little bit older than that. I think I was like 11 or 12. And, my aunt and uncle, or not my aunt and uncle, my uncle and my grandfather told me, they told me that they saw him, but they didn't really tell me that they, anything else until I was a little bit older. When I was a little bit older, they told me that they actually approached him and talked to him. They recognized him. And, and that they, that he basically said in so many words, to piss off, that he had no interest in anything that had to do with me. I don't want to believe that's true. But I think the actions of him never reaching out to me in any way are definitely damning, in that it's likely that that's true. So, even if it is, I'm not going into this holding a grudge. I'm not going into it with any anger or resentment. If it wasn't for him not being there, I wouldn't have learned the lesson that I did, and how important it is to me personally to hold myself to a higher standard than that, and to make sure that I do everything that I can to do right and do the right thing by my son. So I'm really nervous, and I don't even know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. So as a coincidence, I actually happen to be taking my son to Sacramento tomorrow. We're going to be just a stone's throw away from where he lives. Now I don't even expect that he'll reach back tonight. It's already 9:40 at night. He probably works like the rest of us. He's probably got to be up early the next, tomorrow. And, I don't expect to hear from him, but I don't expect to hear from him in time for us to actually work out any kind of meeting, if he would even be open to that, which, the pessimist in me always expects the worst, and I don't expect that he will even respond, but I hope he will. And maybe if the stars align and everything everything comes together, maybe there's an off chance that while I'm down in Sacramento for my son's doctor's appointment, that, you know, I could actually meet him for lunch or coffee or anything really. At this point, it's been 37 years. I'd take anything. So, you know, part of me feels guilty and like worried, you know, because I was adopted by a wonderful family who loves me very much and has treated me like their own child, like their own biological child. Now, in their eyes, I am their own child, and in mine, they're my parents. So there is part of me that's worried about how this would affect them. You know, they're never going to be replaced. You know, they did what very few people do. You know, having been in foster care since I was 10 years old, I know how rare it is for a family to not just take you into their home temporarily, but to also take you into their family. And to not just have you be, you know, a paycheck in the mail that they get every month for taking care of you, but to do the same things for you and to treat you with the same love and the same expectations that they have for their biological children. And so I'm afraid that they will be, you know, I know them well enough to know that I even have to worry about this, because they've never been that way. They've never acted jealous in any way of any biological family I kept in touch with. They've never acted like they expected me to cut ties with anybody that I cared about from before. But it's hard not to be worried that my dad, who has been there for me whenever I've needed him, it's hard for me not to be worried that he might be hurt in some way by this. So I guess I've got a lot to work through, and I'm really nervous about it. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me. And you know, if you want to hit like and subscribe, click the bell, you get updates, you know, when I post updates to this, because I will definitely post updates. This is the first time I've been really inspired to make a video in quite a while. But I hope that by seeing that this is possible, maybe more people will not lose hope like I did, I guess. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.